Hi class, Mr. Watlington. Welcome to week 3. We are into week 3. I know week 2 is a little bumpy. Some people had a little problems getting their books, getting their textbooks, finding the assignments. But I think week 3 we're a little bit smoother sailing. This week we're into Microsoft PowerPoint. I do a lot of work with PowerPoint, what I do at work. Now there's a scripture in Proverbs 29:18. I love this. It says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he." And when we talk about vision, that's why I like PowerPoint, because PowerPoint helps to make the vision clear. It's a presentation software. And when I talk about presentation, really what PowerPoint does for us, it's a platform to sell a concept, to sell an idea, or really sometimes just to sell yourself. Now, the thing that I'm going to talk to you today about in PowerPoint isn't so much the technical aspects. We'll get into that in the textbook, but really it's about the presentation aspect of PowerPoint. PowerPoint's a very, very powerful tool. However, sometimes with powerful tools, we let the tool overshadow the purpose or the intent of the tool. So when we're looking at PowerPoint, think about this. It's always about presentation. And really sometimes less is more. Because with PowerPoint, you want to be sure you do some things, because sometimes our creative juices come along and we just kind of overdo it. Always properly use white space. What I mean by white space, don't overclutter your PowerPoint presentations, trying to put too many things on there. Second thing is like a lot of words. Now, because I've done presentations at a lot of different levels, throughout my military career. I worked at the Pentagon for 6 years, and so that would give me an opportunity to develop a lot of PowerPoints, what we used to call a PowerPoint Ranger, But the thing is, you got to be careful with how many words you put on your PowerPoint screen. What you see on this screen, on this slide right here, that's about the max that I would put on a slide. Because here's what happens. People stop listening to you and then they start reading. And really as a presenter, you want to maintain control of the audience. You want to maintain control of the information flow and the dialogue. So the more stuff you put on the screen, the less attention they're going to pay to you, the presenter, and the more they're going to pay to start reading themselves. And also when you're presenting, something that you also don't want to do with a presentation with PowerPoint is this, where you're reading off the screen and everybody gets a nice look at your posterior. No, know your subject matter well enough so that you can just present. You occasionally look back, but you can flow. Now, the last thing is that you want your presentation to flow, to have some type of an order, to where it flows, where it tells a story, where it paints some type of visual picture, where it progressively transitions from one thought to another thought. Now I'm going to go through a couple of slides here. I just threw these together just for presentation purposes. And this is called All About Me. And it's really just a little bio, because with PowerPoint you can really use this to really sell yourself, especially if you're in an interview or if you're in sales, wherever you are. Because I know all you guys at CBU, you are looking one day to improve your career or wherever you're going. So presentation means a lot. So learn to present with PowerPoint and let PowerPoint just be a backdrop that brings out you. So let's talk about it. All about me. Who am I? All right. Who I am. Grew up on a tobacco farm in North Carolina. Married to a beautiful wife, Aida, 3 sons and a grandson. Also, 26-year U.S. Air Force veteran, and currently live in Dallas, Texas. Senior cybersecurity technologist for Raytheon, a defense contractor, and as well as you probably know, I'm an adjunct college professor at a couple of different universities, here CBU, ECPI University, and another couple of ones. Now, if you notice what I did with this, I let it flow. I just didn't want to throw everything up there at one time. If I threw everything up there at one time, everybody would have started reading all this. But instead, let it build. One point, let it build. Talk about that point, let it build. And you build, and so that way you maintain control and flow of your presentation. All right, let's go to the next slide. What do I like to do? Well, first and foremost, it is ministry. Whether it's Christian education, Bible studies, musicians, songwriting, all those things. We have a website that we go out to. And see here again, white space. Here's what I mean by white space. Use a lot of white space so that people's eyes can just grasp main points, main bullets. Then we have to throw up my next bullet. Also, enjoy golfing and fishing with my wife. So even though I may end up with several things on the page, I want these things to build progressively so I can tell a story. Now, these are the things that are first and foremost. And then secondly, I bring in the pleasure things. So some things to remember of what I mean by using white space, not too many words. But I tell you, now, let's look at some PowerPoint, what I call faux pas, especially in a professional environment. Now, if you're doing PowerPoint for your grandmother's 100th anniversary or birthday or for a family reunion, then throw the bells and whistles in there. But if it's in a professional setting, the thing I always recommend is one, please don't do this. See all that text in there? Oh, please don't do that. Because here's what happens now. Everybody's eyes here again are off of me and they're trying to read this. And now you're going to have one of those awkward moments where you're going to be standing like this while they're trying to read, or you're going to try to read it for them. Most of us think of ministry as a work, and you have lost everyone. Everyone's asleep by then. So that's what I mean by white space. This is way too crowded for a slideshow. Second thing that we always do, oh yeah, the twirlies and the whirlies, please don't do those. Oh yeah, the spinning text. Yeah, I know all those things are there and they're like, oh God, that is so cool. Especially when you first start building PowerPoint. Oh, I wanted to do this. Man, did you see that? Please, please save those for the family reunions and the birthday parties for your kids. That's fun stuff to do there. In a professional setting, yeah, stay away from, that, and especially that. And if I don't have my sound turned on, I don't think, because the one that I really hate is that applause in the background, but those transition between slides. Really be very careful, very cautious with using any sound effects and things like that. Okay, let's talk about this week. Looking at this week, we've got some assignments to do. There's 4 assignments, 4 modules, and you're going to see this pattern every week as we go through, okay? It's going to be a create and edit. That's where you're going to go through the book. You're going to use the data files that's in the module, and then the second part of that is going to be apply your knowledge, where you're going to basically give it a little more free reign, but you still got to do some presentation. The second module, that's where you're going to be enhancing a presentation, where you're going to be working with an existing presentation, and you're going to build some things out in that. And then the second part of that is where you will apply your knowledge. Okay, and then we have our devotional video. Yes, you know, this is one of my favorites right here. God, I love this video. It's one we shot about 2 years ago that we did. It's called Wisdom, Knowledge, Understanding, and Discretion. It's really taken from Proverbs chapter 2. And this really blessed me even in the process of doing the research and bringing this together. It's talking about how we grow from wisdom, from knowledge to wisdom, and then gaining understanding, but then we use all those to apply discretion in our lives, okay? So I am just hyped. I'm looking forward to all you guys' comments, good, bad, and different. And I love the discussions back and forth, please, to the video. So when we talk about the modules, like I said, you're going to do a create, where you're going to build a PowerPoint slide. Like I said, this is in the slide sort view, and I recommend using that way, because when you're going to take all these, you're going to put them into a Word document, and that's what you're going to submit for your homework assignments. That's what I'll grade. So just put those into that format. Your second one, you're going to be very similar, where you're going to build out a couple of slides where you apply your knowledge. In the module 2, that's where you're going to be enhancing a presentation. Like here again, we're in the presentation mode. Now, we'll tell you this: if you are a Mac user, some of the fonts and some of the shapes may not be in your presentation. Don't worry about it. Get it as close as you can, because I'm a Mac user also, so I know that everything that's in the Mac version of PowerPoint doesn't exist. It's not the same in the Windows. So there are some subtle differences. Just make a quick note of that, you know, and when you submit your assignment, hey, I couldn't find this shape, but I improvised. Like I say, because I'm really looking at more your ability to use the software as opposed to can you find the exact shape, object, or replica. And then like to the last one, same thing. And it's going to have you moving shapes around and using different shapes as you apply your knowledge. See, this is a list of all the different data files that you'll be using, and please let me know. Let me know early in the week if you don't have access or you don't see these files in your week 3 project folder. They should all be there right there in with the assignments, all the different attached files. Okay. All right. Listen, guys. Have a great week. Have a great week. Enjoy PowerPoint. Have a lot of fun with it. Have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of nifty and neat things you can do with PowerPoint, but remember, at the end of the day, it's about presentation, presentation, presentation. Okay? Selling yourself, selling the concept, or selling an idea. All right. Have a great week. May God bless you. Looking forward to all your comments back. Take care.